Hello, parents and guardians. Here I am again with my weekly update to you. I always start our weekly updates asking you to remain safe, but this week I'm going to stress, ask, plead with you to remain safe. And one of the reasons that I'm pleading and asking with authority is because the COVID-19 cases, they are increasing. I'm not a health expert, but I do know that on a daily basis, I check the Mississippi State Department of Health's website, and these cases are increasing. I think that as of today, yesterday, we have over 1,000 new cases. Not only are these cases increasing, but the death toll is also increasing. So I just want to encourage you to remain safe. I want to encourage you to remain safe. Follow the guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Mississippi State Department of Health. If you go out in public, please wear a mask. If you are in a gathering, please wear a mask. If you are out in public, please practice those social distancing guidelines that we know we should adhere to in order to keep everyone safe. My plea to you is that I want this entire community to remain safe. We would like to talk to you now about our return to school plan. We've had several community conversations over the last 3 days. We've had about 9 community conversations over the last 3 days explaining to you our thinking regarding our return to school plan. Today, the board, in a specially called board meeting, approved our return to school plan, and we selected the hybrid model that the Mississippi State Department of Education allowed us to select. That hybrid model would mean that we have students to come to school on alternating days. We will have a group of students to come to school on an A day and a group of students to come to school on a B day. The A day would be Monday and Wednesday. The B day would be Tuesday and Thursday. When the A day students are at school on Monday and Wednesday, the B group students will receive virtual instruction on those alternating days. So we have provided this hybrid model so that we can return to school. Also, we have provided a virtual only model for those parents who may not feel comfortable sending their children to school right now. So there is a virtual only model. If you would like to have the virtual only model, you can go to our website and download the form. That form will ask what model that you want, and you select that model. Once you select the model, complete the form, turn that form in to your school's principal so that we would know what model that you are selecting. We want to make sure that we are accommodating every parent. So that's the reason that we are providing the virtual only model. We understand that there may be some parents who are not ready to send their children back to school at this point. We understand that, we recognize that, and we want to make sure that you can still receive a quality education even if you choose not to send your student back physically in the school setting. We have done everything in our power to make sure that this return to school plan is in order and is adhering to the guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and the Mississippi State Department of Health. Those are the guidelines that we will follow as we return to school. At some point early next week, we will have a copy of our return to school plan, a detailed plan, on our website. So please go to our website next week to see that return to school plan in its entirety, and it will explain everything that we're doing from instruction, from bus safety to keeping our children safe, and the technology pieces that we will use to provide the virtual instruction when your children are not at school. Today, the board also voted to extend the return to school, to push back the return to school. Originally, teachers were scheduled to report to school on August 3rd. The board pushed that August 3rd date back for teachers to August 6th. Originally, students' return to school date was August 5th. The board pushed that back until August 17th. We will be placing something on our website, our Facebook page, our Twitter page with these dates so that you know those dates. We wanted to make sure, after we had our community conversations, we wanted to make sure that we were thoroughly prepared for the scholars when they return to school. The 7 days that we have before the scholars get to school, we will have intense professional development from our teachers and other employees to make sure that we can provide high quality instruction to your children in the hybrid model and also in the virtual model. Not only that, but making sure that the buildings are adhering to the social distancing guidelines that the Centers for Disease Control say that we must follow. So please go to our website to see those pieces. If you have not registered your children, please make sure that you attend one-stop registration. If you look at our website, those dates and those times, they are there for you. So please make sure that you register your children. If you select the hybrid model or if you select the virtual model, you must still register your children. One of the things that we are requesting, one of the things that we would like for parents to do, if you select the hybrid model or if you select the virtual only model, we want to make sure that your child remains in that model for a 9-week period. It would be very difficult for us to try to manage a student coming in and out of the hybrid and virtual model. But if you want to change from hybrid to virtual or virtual to hybrid, you can change at each 9-week period. Parents, we know that all of us would love for our students to come back to school in the traditional sense. Unfortunately, that is not the case for the Macomb School District because we have to make sure that we do our part, that we do everything in our power to follow the guidelines that we have been given by the Centers for Disease Control and the Mississippi State Department of Health and any other executive orders that Governor Reeves may put in place. This is the best thing that we can do to serve our students. It may not be the best model, but this is the best thing that we can do to try to have our children to return to school in the safest manner possible. We can't do this alone. So parents, guardians, scholars, community members, we're in this together. I think that the model that we've selected, this model will work. We have to make it work for our scholars. We have no choice. We have to make this learning work for our children. If we don't make this learning work for our children, then we are not taking advantage of this crisis that we have. I've said before in our community meetings that we can utilize this crisis as an opportunity to show individuals how great we are. We can utilize this crisis so that the Macomb School District come out of this crisis much better than we've ever been. I am not the smartest person in the world, but what I do know, I'm smart enough to know that I or this school district can't do this without your help. So parents, scholars, community members, please help us as we tread this uncharted territory, because that is what it is. This is not something that we've experienced before, but we still have to educate our children. So please, parents, guardians, and community members, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's make sure that we, as a Macomb School District family, that we come out of this much better than we've ever been, and that not only will Pike County or other people in the state of Mississippi, but people from around the world will begin to look at the Macomb School District to see that we were able and we are able to provide high quality instruction to our students in these uncertain times. So parents, guardians, scholars, and community members, until next week, I want you to remain safe. Thank you and have a great day.